Welcome to Reverb, sound business advice that resonates. I'm here with my special guest today, Sarah Condoragis from Nectar Creative Group. Hi, Sarah. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Today we're going to have a discussion about how to use webinars, to boost sales. So first, let's start with the question, what is a webinar?
That's a good question. More and more people are hearing about this in the business world and are still a little confused as to what exactly a webinar is. There's teleseminars and webinars, and I'll explain the difference between the two. But basically, what they both are sort of virtual seminars in a way. It's as if one presenter, as if you were filling a room with a traditional seminar, can speak virtually on a topic to an audience out there, up to thousands of people if you'd like, on a particular topic, train on do a seminar training, or promote a particular product or service for their company virtually. And with a teleseminar, what it is the audience is all on the telephone listening at the same time, dialed into the same line, listening to the presenter facilitate the presentation. And with a webinar, the difference is that there's a visual component added. So it's basically the audio in addition to everybody viewing the same screen that is driven by the presenter. And many times it's a PowerPoint presentation or some sort of video in which the presenter is viewable out in sort of virtual land, and everybody's listening at the same time. So that's basically the difference between the two. And a lot of times many people ask, well, how do I decide whether to do a teleseminar or a webinar? And
right.
What really, how do you make that determination based on your business? And there's quite a few characteristics to sort of evaluate. Teleseminars are definitely easier to get up and running quicker with, especially because they're basically free. You can get a free conference call-in line and automatically facilitate a teleseminar. It also has a little bit less heavy on the technology standpoint. So certainly you don't have to worry about controlling software or presentation slides or the visual component going out on the presentation. People are all just dialed into the telephone. But if you are comfortable with technology or do have somebody that can help facilitate the technology piece of the component, webinars are actually great because it's adding a visual in addition to the audio, which is sort of double whammying, being able to drill that point home to your audience.
So in this point, though, we're trying to teach, educate on some topic. Is it normal that if I'm the viewer or if I'm the participant, do I get to communicate with the person that's giving the seminar?
You can, and it's all up to the presenter. They can or they cannot. The presenter can decide, or whoever is the company putting on the webinar, can decide whether they want to open the lines up live to have participants ask questions in an interactive format, or they can actually allow participants to ask questions via a chat log so that they're muted during the call, but they're able to ask questions that at the presenter's, when the presenter wants to take the questions, they can view them and then, make mention to the question and give the answer. Or you can actually put certain logs in place where nobody can ask a question at all, that the participants are just sort of a silent audience out there. Some really neat components that webinars are coming out with and that are being utilized quite a bit very successfully are you can actually ask live polls during your webinar. So if you want to make sure you're truly catering your topic to your audience's interests and needs, you can ask a live poll right then and there once the webinar starts or throughout the webinar, get an immediate response and be able to understand, okay, I know I'm giving a seminar on, financial planning. Let me evaluate how much my audience already knows about financial planning so that I'm not speaking about pieces of the topic that they're already very familiar with, and I could start at a higher level. Or you may want to use that poll to evaluate, okay, these are real beginners with this, so maybe I need to go back and really start with the basics.
Right.
I don't have a very advanced audience here. So it's a way to sort of pre-qualify your audience to really make sure you're catering a topic to their interests and needs. So it keeps them interested and informed.
That's interesting. I didn't know that you could do that.
Yeah, you definitely can, yeah. You don't have to, but you can.
As a presenter, though, then you need to be very well prepared.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you have the wrong audience and you go, oh, well, I have the wrong material.
Right, that is true, and that's why it really is up to the presenter and they to drive how they want the presentation to go. They don't have to ask polls and make it interactive. They don't have to take live questions if you want to make sure you're maintaining the utmost control over the presentation and making sure you're driving home the points about the topic that you want to make sure you get out. So it's definitely up to the discretion of whoever's presenting, and certainly the more webinars you do as a presenter, the more comfortable you are of catering the topic to your audience or how you want to drive the presentation. But I hate to immediately put that out there that people can ask all these polls and make it interactive, because I think it scares people away from really the positive impact webinars can have on driving sales and increasing your business, marketing and sales for your business. So certainly you can decide to what level you want the interactive component to be added.
Yeah, start at a lower level and work
Exactly, right. Don't shoot high. It's a process. It takes a lot of planning, but can reap huge rewards. It'd be really a cost-effective option for sales and marketing for businesses. So
what are some of the key points then you want to have? What do you want to be thinking about when you're going to create a webinar?
That's a good question. I think before you start creating the webinar, I think it's important to understand the benefits of why webinars can be a really effective sales tool. And one of them is because in this day and age, nobody wants the cold call, the hard sell, buy my service. A lot of times it's relationship-driven businesses. They're not selling widgets. So you don't want to get a call and say, buy my service over so-and-so's because I can do it cheaper. If you're working with a financial planner or an attorney or a marketing company, you want to know that they have a knowledge base of their particular industry. So it automatically qualifies the presenter as a subject matter expert, which is critical because it's a soft sell. People who are listening in automatically become confident that you're knowledgeable on a topic. You're also doing a service for them by providing free information many times on a particular topic that's giving them enough to be dangerous with, but it's usually the case in which they go, oh man, I didn't realize that there was all this to it. Okay, now that I'm kind of, given that information, I better give them a call, the business a call, and see how they can really help me make sure I carry it through correctly. So it allows that subject matter expert to actually drive in many times sales. It's also an effective sales tool because of the fact that 1 hour of your time or a half hour of your time for running the webinar can potentially reach hundreds or thousands of potential clients or your current client base. So think about what that is in time if you were to go individually to meet with each of those potential clients. It would take weeks or years to do that. So it's very effective to reaching a wide audience in a short amount of time. And that's really great. The last component about why webinars are actually successful is because it actually helps to create a database for sales generations that you can use that registration list and that audience list and reach back out to them, follow up with them, answer any of their questions that may not have been attended to during the presentation. You can then take that recorded webinar and put it up on your website, which will help create an archive, a library resource on your website so people will continuously come back to your website. And it also helps increase your search engine optimization of people finding your website because you're continuously adding new content.
So with search engine optimization,
yes,
and sometimes people will say SEO,
yes,
and that's what that means. So when you hear
acronym.
Somebody saying SEO, they're talking about search engine optimization,
yes,
which ultimately means the position that Google puts your website,
yes,
when you do a search.
Yes.
That, the content though is a video.
Right.
Does Google recognize, or do I have to put text? How does it help my SEO?
Google recognizes it as a video. You can also put it up on YouTube so that it's searchable that way, which is a really highly ranked search engine. If you have a Facebook fan page or any other social media sites contributed to your business, you can certainly post the webinar link up there. And again, that will help with your rankings because Facebook and LinkedIn pull very heavy weight in the search engine optimization rankings. So adding any type of new, fresh content to a website, be it text or video, is going to actually help Google index that site quicker and realize, oh, it's got new content. Let's make sure that we're ranking this higher. And again, it also speaks back, regardless of search engine optimization, it's adding new content to your company website. So it's not just this static landing page that once people validate you as a business, they forget to ever go to again. They're continuously using your website as a resource library for information. So they're constantly being reminded of your business and to reach out and potentially do more business with you. So it's really beneficial on many factors.
Because the
having
reality
webinars.
is we don't know when somebody's ready to buy.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I may have given a seminar a month ago, but
Right.
you
It
know,
helps
they look for it
pre-qualify a
today.
lot of leads, which is really, really important.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.